Right, so I'm here this evening with Stuart from Langford. Stuart, how are we doing, mate?
All good, buddy. All good, thank you.
Good, good. Right, we'll get into it then. Obviously, last night a very action-packed game, straight off the bat as well. 2 minutes, and we had less than 2 minutes, and we had a red card. What was
Yeah, 24.36 seconds to be precise.
not that you were
Uh,
counting?
yeah, I was counting. I checked it on the VO from kickoff to the actual foul being committed. 24.36 seconds. Yeah.
So what's going through your head then? Obviously, a penalty given away straight away. Obviously, going down to 10 men as well. What were your thoughts?
Well, to be honest, it's happened so quick. I mean, we'd set our plan up. We knew how Cranfield were going to come at us following the first game where we played them. So obviously, we set our stall out how we wanted to play. Um, but you can never legislate for something so drastic happening so early in the game. I thought it was a pen, definite pen. I think maybe it was a little bit harsh with the red, especially considering it was under 30 seconds. But listen, 20 seconds, 20 minutes. If the ref deems it's a red card offence, then he's got to go. So before we've even had chance to reflect of what we're going to do, one of our star players is walking off, and up steps Ebbs and pulls off a magnificent save. I mean, this lad has just been something special for us. He's such a character in the changing room and on the pitch. Um, and he deserved that. He put in a man of the match performance last week, and he followed it up with a superb save. So, yeah, once that's gone in, I think the adrenaline starts kicking in for all the players because you don't need to G him up then. You know, we had to make a tweak by moving one of our midfielders, Joel. He's our holding midfielder. We had to tweak him to put him in at centre half. Um, and he was magnificent. You know, him and Sam Moore, the two lads that's just shored up the defence. I mean, you were there. You saw the game. It kind of had a little bit of everything, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going down to, as you say, to 10 men, moving a centre midfielder into the back line, and then dominating pretty much the rest of the game with 10 men. It was very surprising to think that you were the team that were down to 10 men. If, in my opinion, I thought they looked like they were down to 10 men. The onslaught that you were giving them, I think we said at halftime, hit the crossbar 3 or 4 times. Um, had two or three clear chances, and then obviously the goal going in by Sam. How important was obviously getting that first goal for you?
Well, to be honest, like when you go down to 10, um, it's a bit like when you're playing against 10. You can work your patterns of play out 11 against 11. Um, but then it all depends on the character and the mentality of the players on the pitch because ultimately they're the ones that have got to enforce how you want to play. Um, you're right. We took the game to them. That's just how we play football. You know, we're not a team that are going to knock the ball long. We're not going to play rush football. We like to build and play through the thirds, and the transition's important from all the players. You know, they're brave on the ball in all areas, which is what we tried to coach into them. And it's clear to see, you know, even when we've gone down to 10, even with it being so early, the the philosophy is to still do what we're good at. And we've got a lot of lads that maybe last season their character would have been questioned, and even to the point, you know, the first month of this season where our performances weren't merited in the results. You know, we lost games where we knew we should have come away with something. Um, but I've been in football for over 40 years now, and last night was one of the occasions that you just stand up and you're proud of the way your lads have played. You know, each to a man, they were just superb. So, but the first goal, yeah, you're right. When we missed the chances that we had missed, I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be a bit nervy. But Joel kept putting in dead balls that was just superb, and Sam's got on the end of one. But like you say, we'd missed two or three before that. That you're thinking to yourself, this is going to come back to bite us. But you know, listen, going in at half time, 1-0 up, we could hear them shouting in the changing room next to us, and it's like, look, that's your team talk, you know. You know they're going to come out of your second half. Just continue doing what you know you can do. Our biggest concern was that we was going to tire quite quickly because we played on a heavy pitch on Saturday, and obviously it's a quick turnaround in games on Tuesday anyway. But I think adrenaline got them through it. Yeah, they've done really well. Pleased with them.
Yeah, I was going to say my next question there. Obviously, very pacey wingers, and you had Frankie up on top on doing that doggy work, and there was a few instructions I see you giving to not chase everything. What was your thought, or what was your chat to them guys to try and save their pace for the rest of the game then?
Well, so we've got very good wide men. They're pacey, they're tricky, they're skillful, and they're hungry. When we've gone down to 10, and obviously they've got the numerical advantage, it was important that Frankie, our striker, who's leading the line, didn't engage the two centre halves. You know, let the centre halves have the ball, drop in onto the four, their deepest line midfielder, so that he couldn't pick up the ball and start the passage of play for them from there. However, a couple of times that he did do that, he done it very well. But then I think Cranfield switched on to the fact that he was doing it so well that they started to get their centre halves to try and bring the ball over the halfway line. So that was a little bit hard work for him because he was having to try and cover the four, and then also try and engage with the centre halves as and when he needed to. As for Baz and Berth, they're so used to going up and down the line, but normally moving forward, it was a case of, okay, guys, look, we've got to set up like we're on the counter-attack now. We had to set up like we were the away team in certain games. We're not used to playing counter-attacking football. We're used to playing on the front foot. But you have to adapt, you know, and they were the two lads that I thought would tire. We did make changes with them later on, but they lasted a hell of a lot longer than I thought they would. So, yeah.
And then we'll get into it then. Second half, they see a red after 60 minutes. Again, as you were saying, counter-attack from a corner. We hit them on a quick break, and it was Baz. The defender had two of them to decide who he wanted to go for, and obviously then took Baz out. What are your sort of thoughts then? Obviously, 10 men each now, still dominating the game and having a lot of chances. What's going through your head there?
Well, to be honest, when it goes down to 10, I'll be honest, I actually would have rather we scored the second goal because I thought we'd set our stall out. We knew our positions, and they'd had 45 minutes, well, 60 minutes to understand their roles and where they needed to reset and where they were starting from. When young Felix has been sent off, unfortunately, he's got to go. It's a tactical foul, but it's one that he's made, and the refs deemed that he's got to go straight away. So once we're 10 v 10, we can then get back to doing what we do best anyway, and that's playing football. And 11 against 11, I think we're a match for any team in the league. So 10 v 10 is just exactly the same, just with a man less. You know, so I was quite comfortable then. I thought, you know, we'll go on, and I couldn't see them breaking us down with 11 against 10 unless we tired. So when it was 10 v 10, I thought, okay, we should be comfortable there.
Yeah, I know. We had a little conversation on the touchline, saying about are you getting nervous? Obviously, we said 3 or 4 chances missed in the first half. I think we said it should have been about 5 or 6 towards the end.
Unfortunately, that's been one of our concerns for the last couple of seasons. We create an abundance of chances in games, and I knew that fatigue was going to play a part last night. So when the players, especially our two wide men, because obviously they're doing so much hard work up and down the pitch, when the chances did come to them, is their thought process composed enough that they can just put the ball away, tuck it into the corners, rather than lashing or thrashing around it at the ball. And as you saw, I mean, Baz has had 2 beautiful chances to put away. And unfortunately, he's rush of blood and not done it. Frankie's done exactly the same. Young Freddie, the right back's had 2 chances, hit the post on one. So thankfully, Sam come to the rescue. But the only time I got nervous in the game was when we had missed 3 on the bounce, and I'm thinking, this is going to come back to bite us, you know. But thankfully we saw it out. We saw the game through.
No, definitely. As we say, we had a lot of conversation saying how eventful, end to end, and thrilling the game was. But no, just want to say thank you, mate. Thank you for your time. Obviously, we'll look forward to the next fixture and get your thoughts on the game after that, mate.
Yeah, defo, mate.